The air crackled with Karen's voice, a shrill chainsaw of entitlement slicing through the quiet morning. "Tear it down now," she barked, her chins quivering as she jabbed a sausage-like finger at my cabin, her eyes gleaming with the kind of smugness that could curdle milk. She thought she'd won, thought her HOA presidency gave her the divine right to bulldoze my life. But I had a secret, a legal bombshell that would make her regret stepping onto my land. I'd moved to this sleepy corner of Willow Creek 3 years ago, craving solitude after a decade in the city's grind. My cabin, a ramshackle beauty of cedar and sweat, sat on a 5-acre lot I'd bought dirt cheap at an auction. It was my sanctuary, built with my own hands, every nail, every plank a testament to starting over. But Karen, the self-appointed queen of the Willow Creek HOA, had other plans. She'd hated me from day one, sneering at my eyesore cabin, my muddy boots, my refusal to bow to her petty rules. To her, I was a stain on her pristine vision of suburban perfection. The trouble started 6 months ago when Karen began her campaign. First, it was letter snippy. Official-looking notices demanding I comply with HOA regulations I'd never signed up for. I ignored them. My property wasn't part of her gated fiefdom. The auction records proved it. But Karen didn't care about facts. She cared about power. By month 3, she was leaving voicemails, her voice dripping with condescension. "You're lowering property values, Mr. Hayes. Fix it, or we'll fix it for you." I laughed them off, but I should have known she wouldn't stop. Last week, she escalated. I came home to find a notice of demolition taped to my door, claiming my cabin violated zoning laws. The signature, Karen's, scrawled in ostentatious red ink. I called the county office, and they confirmed what I suspected: pure fiction. My land was zoned for residential use, and I had every permit in order. But Karen wasn't playing by rules. She was playing dirty. This morning, I woke to the rumble of tires on gravel. 2 police cruisers pulled up, followed by Karen's gleaming SUV. She waddled out, her floral blouse straining, her face a mask of triumph. Officers Daniels and Rivera stepped out cautiously, their faces unreadable. Karen didn't waste a second. "Officers, that shack is an illegal structure," she declared, loud enough for the neighbors peeking through their blinds. "I want it gone today." I stepped onto my porch, heart pounding but steady. "Morning, Karen," I said, forcing a smile. "You sure you want to do this?" Her eyes narrowed, sensing a challenge, but she doubled down. "You're a squatter, Hayes. This land belongs to the HOA." I checked. She smirked, folding her arms like she'd already won. The officers exchanged a glance, clearly uneasy. Daniels, the older one, cleared his throat. "Sir, we got a complaint. Mind showing us your deed?" Karen's laugh was a hyena's cackle. "Deed? He's got nothing. Tear it down." I held up a hand, calm as I could manage. "Give me a minute. Officers." I ducked inside, grabbed my file box, and returned with a folder thick with documents. Karen's smirk faltered as I handed the stack to Daniels. "Here's the deed, the survey, and the auction records. All notarized. This lot, it's mine. Always has been." Daniels flipped through the pages, his brow furrowing. Rivera leaned over, scanning the text. Karen's face reddened. "That's fake," she sputtered. "He's lying." But I wasn't done. I pulled out the ace I'd been holding for weeks, a title search I'd commissioned after Karen's first letter. "Officers," I said, my voice steady. "Not only do I own this lot, but I own the entire HOA's land. All 50 acres. Karen's house included." The air went still. Karen froze, her mouth half open, a fish gasping on dry land. Daniels looked up sharply. "You're saying you own the HOA's property?" I nodded. "Bought it at the same auction. The HOA's been leasing it from me for 3 years without knowing. Their lawyer never checked the title." I handed over the title search, pointing to the key line, "Grantee, Samuel Hayes. Sole owner." Karen's face was a storm cloud. "That's impossible," she shrieked, snatching at the papers. Rivera stepped between us, his hand raised. "Ma'am, calm down." Daniels read the document again, then looked at Karen. "Ma'am, this checks out. Mr. Hayes owns the land, including your lot." The words hit her like a slap. She staggered back, her eyes wild. "You're lying. I'm the president. I run this place." I couldn't resist. "Not anymore. Karen, you've been squatting on my land. Rent's due." The officers stifled grins. Karen's bravado crumbled, replaced by a mix of fury and panic. She'd built her empire on bluster, bullying neighbors into submission. But now the tables had turned. She'd called the cops to destroy my home, only to learn she had no ground to stand on literally. The neighbors, drawn by the commotion, gathered at the edge of my lot. Whispers spread as I explained the situation. Karen's reign of terror, her fines for unapproved mailboxes, her tantrums over untrimmed hedges was over. The HOA was a sham, built on land I owned. I could have evicted them all, but that wasn't me. "I'm not here to ruin lives," I said, loud enough for everyone to hear. "But the bullying stops today. New rules, live and let live." Karen tried one last stand. "You'll hear from my lawyer." She spat, storming toward her SUV. But the fight was gone from her voice. The neighbors applauded softly, their relief palpable. Daniels handed back my papers. "You're good, Mr. Hayes. Sorry for the trouble." Rivera tipped his hat. "Might want to get a lawyer yourself. Sounds like you've got some tenants to deal with." As Karen's SUV peeled out, kicking up dust, I felt a weight lift. I'd come here for peace, not war. But Karen had forced my hand. The truth was my weapon, and it hit harder than any bulldozer. The neighbors approached, some shaking my hand, others offering apologies for staying silent under Karen's thumb. We talked about a new community, one without petty tyrants or power trips. I didn't want to be a landlord, but I'd use my ownership to keep things fair. That evening, I sat on my porch, the sunset painting the sky in hues of fire. My cabin stood proud, untouched. Karen's house, just visible through the trees, felt smaller now, like her ego. She'd learned to live like the rest of us, humbled. Human. Maybe she'd change. Maybe not. But her days of ruling Willow Creek were over. The stars came out, one by one, and I sipped my coffee. The world quiet again. I'd fought for my home and won. Not just for me, but for everyone she'd tried to crush. Justice, it turns out, is a hell of a carpenter.